Hi, in this video I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of Styck Software. So Styck's an Australian construction financial management system. Its core job is to tell you how your projects are financially performing. In this video I'm going to give you a brief run through. If you want to know more or have a more in-depth look, please check out some of our other videos that go into more detail. So what I'm going to look at here is starting with our dashboard. We can see we've got some basic project information and our project over here on the left-hand side. Now, Styck's a per project system, which means as you're working through, you're working on the project you're on. So for example, if I click on contracts, so I'm going to do variations. It's going to be variations for this particular job here. Change project is where we can change between our jobs. So just clicking on that will bring up our list of jobs and we're able to flick through to other projects here. And what I'm going to do is just run you through our menu and give you a look at the different screens and how they sort of look and feel. So starting with our contacts area here, here you've got your list of contacts. Now you can import these from other systems. We integrate with things like Zero Mile, or you can bring it in from safety products from things like Bill Pass. You can track insurance details here, but it's a basic list you've got of all your contacts in one spot. Now moving on to projects, we've got our setup project screen here. This is where we can add and edit projects. So we'd be coming here and going create new project and just filling it in like form style. We'll be able to do that. And we could do things like here, like set retentions for the job, set up our contract values, do progress claim breakdowns, things like that. So we can set that all up and track our jobs and keep a list of them here. Under projects as well, we have our project estimate screen here. You can import an estimate within Styck, and we integrate with products like Dindo. And so basically what you'll be able to do here is take an estimate you have, import it into Styck, like you could do that through Excel, and then convert that job into a budget that you can then track. So it's just a way you can import your estimates into Styck and then use them to track your project finances. So next from here, we've got our project budget screen here. You can customize the way these budgets are. They can all be set up exactly how you want to track these costs. So essentially, you've just got your cost codes here. You can put them into groups as well. So I've got prelims up here. And you can set these budgets. You can also do budget adjustments. And whatever you set up here, you'll be able to track those costs and see the financial performance there. And you can see over here on the right-hand side, we've got a project budget summary. You've got your contract value less your budgeted cost equaling your contract margin there. So giving you a starting point from the job. You can also do things like budget adjustments. You can import budgets. So there's a few things you can do here. Next on this list, we've got our project letting screen. What we could do here is do a bit of a price comparison between our trades, and we can set things like add target pricing. So for example, for tiling here, I've got like a budget of 14,000. I've set my target at 12, and I've got a few people that are putting in pricing there. So I can just check the differences there. So it's a way you can maybe re-tender things and track all those, and you can filter them by the different areas of the job as well. And you can simply go here and you can clear that and see all the tenders across the whole project. You've got an add tender area here where you can just put in the pricing. If it's meant to be just a high level look where you can assess this and decide who's going to be successful and unsuccessful for the job. There is also a project team area. Here that'll give you a look at all the contacts you've got for the project as well. So you can go through that and it will just give you a list of all the people that are associated with this job. And you can copy project teams from another project as well. And as you go through using Styck, like you're doing purchase orders or communications and things, anyone you do that sort of stuff for, they automatically come to the contacts area. So if you're adding people as you go, they turn up here as well, which moves me into the next part of the software, which is your communications area. So if I click on communications here, you'll see I've got these two tabs. I've got client and I've got subcontractor. So within Styck, we've got the ability to do things like RFIs, notice of delays, extension of time, site instructions. And all we're doing here, we've got a list of them here. And you can see they're just all grouped together, but I can filter these by type. So I can just filter for RFIs. I can filter by status. So I can track if they're open or closed. And I can do things like over here, like download schedule. So I can create like an RFI schedule, for example. But these are designed to be easy to use, where you can just go new communication. You'd be selecting your communication type, say it's like an RFI or something, and you just be filling it out, possibly having attachments and being able to create that. And that'll create like an RFI document. You can even send it via the platform to the other party as well. Then you move into the contracts area. Under here, we've got our setup contracts. So whether you're doing purchase orders or subcontract agreements, you're able to set up these templates in Styck and issue these contracts out. And you'll be able to have a list of them here. And you're simply just going set up new contract, filling out the details there, selecting who it is, and then you'll be able to issue that contract out to the subcontractor for signing. One of the other options you've got here is to accept claims via Styck. So if you want, you've got subcontractors submitting progress claims to you, they can actually do that via Styck. So they've got a way they can actually upload their claims into your system, turning you into an assessor. So that way you can just assess claims without entering them, and it all automated. So it's all going back to the subcontractor as well. It's just an easy process to do that. We also have a contract claim overview on screen here, and that's where you can see all the contract values you've got, all the balances left, any retentions, the date of the last claim. So it's just a snapshot of where all your contracts are at, so you can see exactly like what position everyone is in. We've also got a variations area here. This is broken again into the two tabs, similar to the communications, where you've got the client side and the subcontractor side. When you're doing a variation, you just simply click a new variation. You can track where it's not approved or approved. It'll pick up what variation number, variation reason. You're able to put in values, and you can do breakdowns and things for the client. You can track the variation budgets as well, and you're able to create that. Everything you create in Styck, it creates like templates, which you click on an open PDF here. You can also send them directly out of the system. And all the PDFs can be edited as well. So if you're not happy with like a layout or something, that can be changed as well. So you've got that ability to customize the software as well. There's a variation summary area too that will track the financial performance of your variation. So you're going to understand how much margin you are making for each of your variations as well. Further on from there, we've got a progress claims area as well. Again, you've got the tabs there, you've got the client side and the subcontractor, and this is where we start to integrate to things like accounting products like Xero and MyOb. The way that the integration works is information in Styck, like say your claims or invoices, as soon as they're approved, they automatically sync across to the accounting software. So there's no double entry or anything like that. It's simply put everything into Styck and it just syncs across automatically to your accounting software. And that way you can have it going through an approval process. So when it gets to the Xero side, all that's either good to be received or good to be paid. And to do a progress claim, this is the same style. If whether it's a subcontractor that you're receiving or doing a client claim here, they're virtually the same sort of side of things, but they're the two sides of it. You've got these status options where you can mark things as submitted, assessed, and approved. And then down here on the left, you've got, your claim information. On the right, you've got a claim summary, things like it will track retention for you, all that sort of stuff. And then you've just got your contract works breakdown, and all you'd be able to do is put in either percentages or dollar values. So any of these purple fields here, you're able to enter, and it will help calculate your claim. Below that, you've got a variation area. So again, you're able to come in here and claim your variations. And as you go, you'll see here it's just working out the summary of your claim as well to work out what you're claiming, deducting any retention. You can edit retention. There's an explain that will just show you how retention's being calculated, so you cross-check all that. It makes tracking retentions very, very easy, and accessible as well, so you won't lose any of that information. Down here, you've got your variations, like we said. There's a claim notes area. There's a spot for attachments, and you go create claim. And again, that'll create like a progress claim document that you'd be used, and you can follow the Security Payment Act and things like that. We do have these account sync areas as well. There's one under the contracts, there's one under the purchasing. These account sync areas is just where you're able to connect your accounting software, and that's very simple, where you'd be able to simply connect to either MyOb or Xero and then go for it with bringing the information from one system to the other. You do have a purchase order area here as well. So if you didn't want to do like a contract and you want to do a purchase order instead, you can do that quite easily here, where again, you're going to have your list of all your purchase orders. You can track them by status and all that thing. And all this information can be filtered to make that easy to see exact information. And you'll be able to just go new purchase order to issue one out. It's going to pick up a PO number. You're just filling it out here. And you could either do like a lump sum purchase order, or you could do your traditional sort of order breakdown where, you're putting in unit of measures, quantities, all that sort of thing. So you'll be able to track all that. and issue purchase orders. You can also receive invoices against purchase orders. So once you've got like an invoice in, you can simply return to that purchase order and you just go and add invoice here. And when you do that, you can just attach the invoice, put in the invoice details and go add invoice to order. You can even approve at that point. And again, that will automatically go across to the accounting software. You've also got a spot here for your invoices. So any invoices come in there. Now these are like creditor invoices, supplier invoices. These can come in here and you can see them all. You can approve them from here as well. So if you've got someone processing invoices when you want to come back and approve them later, you can do all that. You've even got the ability here to just go new invoice and you can just add an invoice. So I don't know, say you buy something from Bunnings, you might not be raising purchase orders for everything. So if you're not interested in using the purchase order, you can just come here and what it does, it just creates a purchase order at the same time. So it saves you the hassle of doing the purchase order first. You can just do it all in one go. We do also integrate to Easy Bills here. With that integration to Easy Bills, that's a scanning product. So that just means when you click on that, it'll bring things in automatically. You just be able to click import and it'll bring all the data in. So it's a tool that you can use if you want to reduce data entry, essentially using like the AI scanning systems. We also have a labor component too, where we've got our timesheets. So here you'll be able to add in any timesheets to record labor costs. And all you're doing there is just go new timesheet. There's a date area, you're selecting a person, and there's just a rates area here where you can set up a cost rate for that person. And it's just going to times that, like you can set whatever part of the budget and times that by, how many hours. Like if I put in 8 hours, it's just going to 8 hours times that rate going to that budget code. So it's simply just a vehicle for recording labor costs. And from there, you've got our financials area here too, where we've got our committed costs. Now, the committed cost screen will give you that overview of your budgets and allow you to do cost forecasting to make sure you can get the results here. So, for example, I can see I've got prelims there where I've got $43,000 in my budget. I can see their purchases has been 1,700. Our total cost has been 7,000 because there's also been a subcontract there. This is committed cost, so it's not actual. So as soon as we do things like let a contract or raise a purchase order, the money automatically commits against these budgets. We can see how much we've got to complete, and we can see these results. So, for example, if we looked at prelims there, we might say, okay, well, there's $35,000 left to complete, and the result is zero. That's just saying what we've got left in our budget. The result is on zero because it says we're going to be on budget. But what you can do is forecast this out. So I'm able to click on that. I can either set it to zero, and then I could apply that. So I can say, well, there's no more cost to do. I can apply that. Otherwise, I can put in notes here as well to myself or, to others. And I might just say, well, I think the prelims at this stage is going to be $25,000 left. Click apply. What happens is it goes to 25,000 and then gives me that result of 10K to say, okay, we're 10K under budget now. You can see as well anything that it's gone blue, so I can indicate that it's been a forecast. Anything that goes over goes into the negative as well. So you can just have a look at that and say, okay, these values there, that's gone over budget. And hopefully this is a point before there's been an issue, like because it's a commitment stages, but maybe you can see a budget's going to be blown and be able to do something about that. And then down below here, you can see you've got that committed cost total. So what it's doing there, that 67,000, same with 60,000, $7,000 under budget. So this is a cost versus cost screen. There's no margin speak here. It's just literally like, how we perform against a budget. And for this one, we're $67,000 under budget, which is great. From there, we'd be able to click onto our other financial reporting, which is our work in progress. The work in progress screen works as a cash position. So what it's going to do is essentially work as a bit of a profit and loss as at a date. And I've got this ability here to click on as at a date. And I can say, for example, I can make that today. What it'll do, it'll just show us what have we claimed to the clients, what subcontractors claimed to us, what the purchase has been, what are the labor costs, and what give us that cash position. So we'll be able to say, okay, we're 87K positive for this project at this particular time. And then this bar graph these bar graphs here, it's just going to give us that breakdown so we can have a look and see how aligned the job is. So we can understand how far through the job we are time, what we've claimed through, what we've spent to, and how much margin we've gone through there. So it's going to give us an indication of like, have we overclaimed, underclaimed, just to point out like, just because we're in a strong cash position doesn't mean we're making more money. It's just showing us like, we might be slightly ahead margin wise than we should be at this point in the job. the table on the left hand side is just going to show you what you've actually spent through all your budgets, so you can get an idea of like what is actually remaining to come out of pocket. And that can be, it can be used as an indicator as well, because you might be looking at something, go, gee, they look high. Maybe you review it, maybe you save some money because you've looked more into some of these budgets. We also have a project cost report here. This works on a date range, so I've got an ability to set a couple of dates here, and it will just give me like a transaction list. So, things for like if you're doing cost plus work, or you just want to know how much money you spent, say, for demolition over a particular date range, it'll give you all that information. So it's going to give you, all your labor costs, all your purchasing, all everything that's been claimed, all that in just one spot. And you can, all these reports as well, you can get them in like PDF and Excel formats as well. Following that, you've got your retention. So you've got project level retentions and you've got company level retention. So it's a way, and we're just trying to make that very clear so you can keep an easy tracking of your retentions and just make it extremely visible. So, for example, you got your client retentions. It's just going to give you a list of all your jobs. So show you the values have been held, the release dates, and just make that extremely clear. And you could do things like, filter by a particular company, filter by particular dates. Like if you need some reporting for compliance, or you need to be able to show how much retention you're holding for your subcontractors, you're able to do that here. So you can filter by a particular subcontractor and show all the values you're holding against them for retention. And then finally, we've got our company financials here, which has got the two tabs. It's got the work in progress here in the budgets versus actuals. But the whole point of this budgets versus actuals and this company financials is to give you a holistic look across all your jobs and just get to understand exactly how they're performing, because it's just going to be based on the rest of the project information. So, for example, and what you're able to do as well, like, you can filter by project status. Like I might look at my current jobs. I can filter by particular clients as well. So if I want to know how I'm performing with a particular client, and I can also filter by a job. So I can just focus on one job perhaps here. And if I click apply, what that's going to do, it's going to show me the contract value, the budgeted cost, and the original margin. So we're looking at that, go, okay, that was the original margin we expected to make for the job. Next to that, it's going to pick up the contract and variations, what's been committed to the job, what's still to complete, what are the total costs now, and the current margin. So we're able to look at that and go, originally his job was going to be 5% margin, 82. We're currently 175 at 10%. So we get that understanding straight away, going, okay, this job is quite healthy. It's performing better than we expected. And then from there, what you're able to do, I've got this list of jobs here, but I can clear that out. And I might look at all my jobs, and I've got a heap of jobs on. I can look and say, okay, we're 26% across all our jobs where we're meant to be, but we're currently doing 22%. So we know, okay, perhaps there's an issue with some of these jobs. We can go through, find all those holes. It's just really a way to stay on top of things. And that's really the point of the software, is just to make this information available so then you can make key decisions and understand exactly where you're going. So that's a quick overview of Styck, a quick demonstration. If you have any questions or want to know more, please get in touch. We're locally based. The whole point of this is to make the software easy. It's quite affordable to use. That's another point as well. And we're really keen to get involved with people as well. So there's a lot of support, a lot of assistance and all that stuff. So thanks for watching, and we'll speak to you soon.